everybody, and welcome to episode 143 of the This Old Knit podcast. I am your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine, on Instagram, Pinterest, Ravelry, Airtable, all the places where I am. That's what I'm known as. Thank you all for joining me. Welcome to any new viewers. Haven't had any in a while, but welcome nevertheless if you're here newly, and welcome back to any returning viewers. Thank you for sticking with me. It has been a couple of months since I podcast last, and I've got some things to show. I'm not going to try to catch up on all the stuff that I've done or worked on since I podcast last, because frankly I don't remember what I have or haven't shown, and it was a bit of a struggle to even podcast at all, so I am going to take the win and just go with it. And I did not change. I've been doing some office cleanup at my real work office, so yeah, working with dusty files and stuff, so apologize if I have any stuff on me that I did not notice before I was on camera. That said, I have been struggling a bit, just more generally with life. There's just a lot going on, and I find it all a bit depressing, specifically all of the stuff with climate change, and there was the stuff with Afghanistan, the ongoing drama in the US with COVID and people not being willing to get vaccinated, and pile on top of that my children starting back to school, and Megwin is just struggling with the transition to 6th grade. It's just a lot. I wasn't sleeping well. Yeah, it's been a lot. So anyway, here I am to enjoy sharing some things with the people that have stuck with me. At the top of the episode, though, I would like to say that I wanted to thank you all for sticking with me, who have. So I wanted to do a little giveaway, and I have a skein of yarn in honor of India Untangled being this weekend and Rhinebeck, which I'm not going to this year because my kids are not vaccinated yet. Megwin can't get vaccinated until December, and then Joshua's age group, I don't know when vaccines are going to be available yet, so I just felt irresponsible with the Delta variant and everything, and just how crowded that both India Untangled and Rhinebeck are. So hopefully next year I will be able to go. At least my whole family will be vaccinated at that point, and hopefully things will be better. So anyway, last year's India Untangled colorway from Lavender Loon Yarn Company, she had two. One was Air Hugs. I asked for a special skein dyed on DK weight, and she did do that for me, but I'd like to give it away to one of you. So what I would ask is that you comment in the comments of what is one thing that's keeping you going these days, because there is a lot. So what's one thing that's keeping you going? Maybe it's coffee, maybe it's friends, maybe it's yarn or knitting. Just comment below, and you may win this skein of yarn. I'm willing to send it internationally, so anybody can enter, and then I'll draw next time, and we can coordinate for a way to get your prize out to you. So I'm just bringing it closer. It's on a mint green background, and there's kind of leafy colors as the contrast colors on it. So it's Air Hugs on her Superwash Merino DK weight base. There's 231 yards. So nice stuff, very squishy and fun. So moving on to finished objects, I do have two sweaters. I recorded a podcast and about a month ago, and I didn't even feel like editing it. Just so you know where we're at with that. And then also I had a recurrence of my tendonitis in my hand, which I had years ago. If you've been watching my podcast since the beginning, I did have tendonitis after I had Joshua, and it recovered and it flared back up again about 4 weeks ago. And so I couldn't knit at all for a couple weeks, and then I'm slowly easing back into it, but I'm changing some stuff with like my the way I tension my yarn, and just if I feel any fatigue at all on that hand, I'm stopping and resting and reading. So I've read a lot of books, but not finished a lot of things. But anyway, this I've had done for a while, but I haven't shared it on the podcast. So this is my stripes pullover it's a pattern by Andrea Mowry, and I knit it all out of Plies and Hellhounds yarns. They're all on her Marie Cutie base. 3 of them are like limited edition colors. So 2 were from the Six of Crows book box, which I think was her first book box. So this one is No Mourners, and this darker blue is No Funerals. And then this one is Like My Cold Dead Heart. That one is one she regularly has in the shop. And then this kind of purpley one is Crow Moon. This one, that's a better representation of the color. I have the lamp on in here and it's kind of messing with the colors. Let me turn it off. Better, but it's going to be dark soon. Because it is autumn in the northern hemisphere. So there you go. So here is my stripes sweater. I love how it turned out. I have not woven in all the ends yet, but I'm working on them a little bit at a time. I like wearing it with jeans. I've got to wear it a few times. It hasn't been super cold too many days yet. It's still kind of getting warm in the afternoon and evening. So yeah, but I'll be ready for when it is cold. And then my other one was a test knit that I did for Samantha from Samantha Guerin Designs. This one is the Wild Joy sweater, and it is now out as a pattern. I believe she has it for sale on both Ravelry and also on her website, Samantha Guerin Designs. So you can find it in either place. So I knit it out of Dream in Color Smushy. This is a really, really deep stash colorway. I bought it when I was pregnant with Megwin. So I got it at Wool Gathering in 2008, 2009. Yeah. So anyway, I alternated skeins. I knit the whole body, put way too many waist decreases in, and realized with worsted weight yarn, very few stitches per inch. So when you do paired waist decreases, you're going like basically an inch down every time. So I had to rip it all back and redo it, and I did maybe just 2, I think, and then, you know, increased back up again. I like it a lot better. And I also switched out the skeins, because when I first knit it, one of the skeins was markedly lighter. So even though I alternated, it looked very stripy, and I didn't like that. So now I think it just looks deeply variegated, and I used that on the sleeves instead. So you can really see it on the sleeves, but I didn't like it being on the body. The sleeves, I don't mind it as much. There you go. These are very long cuffs, so they come up to like here on me. So it's a very cozy sweater. On the yoke, I used Isle Yarns DK in the Shell Track colorway, and this is held double with some Plies and Hellhounds Fig Lace in England Times. Then this is some Spin Cycle. I believe the colorway is Rusted Rainbow. And then this colorway, which you can't see unless I bring it really close, yeah, low contrast for the win, is Lang Yarns Tweed. And it's just, you know, it's a number, but it's black. It's black tweed. So there it is a fabulous pattern. It knits up lickety split because it's worsted weight. It's really warm. I love it. I've worn it twice. I think I've worn it twice. We had one morning where it was really, really cold, like in the 40s. So I wore it that day because we had our windows open the night before. So it was very cold in our house. And then I wore it one other time, but I had to take it off not too far into the day. So those are my 2 finished objects. I've also finished some like socks for Joshua. I think I finished a pair of socks for Josh. I've done a single sock for Josh, and I've repaired a single sock for Josh. But whatever, I don't have those to share. Then in terms of whips, like I said, I've been knitting, you know, like a little bit because of the hand injury. But this sweater is for Joshua. So this is a pattern by Meg from the Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits podcast. Bad Wolf Girl Studios is her design and yarn line. So this one is the little crab or mini crab sweater. It does not look good because it's not blocked yet. But they're essentially hermit crabs. Hermit crabs with a little heart. I don't know if you can even tell because it really needs to be blocked. Let's see if I can get one of them to lay flat for you. Yes. Like that. And there went everything. Yeah, so there's the body, the little legs, the claws. He's got little eyes on the top, and that's a heart. And then there's like a little row of single fleas, right? That look like little upside down hearts. So I'm knitting it out of some Deep Stash again. This one is Crystal Palace Bunny Hop. I believe it's a discontinued yarn. And this one is like New Blues or something. It has a little bit of Angora in it, but it's like almost 50-50 wool acrylic. But there's a little bit of Angora. So it's 50-40-10. And then the other one is, oh boy, Mission Falls? No, it's Rowan Wool Cotton. Again, from my stash, and it's just in a red. I believe Rowan Wool Cotton is also discontinued, but I wanted to get like that 50-50 so it would behave the same way, and they're basically the same gauge. So it's going to be really cute on him. I've got, you know, about halfway down where I need the body to be, and then my hand just kind of gave out. I suspect a combination of things work making it flare up. I also knit a bunch of Tiny Pumpkins by Susan B. Anderson. They are hanging in a little, what are those called? Like a garland. There's another name for that. Anyway, they're hanging along my craft room window. I will try to include a picture if I remember, but it looks really cute. And I have some pumpkin twinkle lights on the bottom. I have my pumpkins that I get out every year that I bought at Joann's. It's a combination of like yarn pumpkins, and then I have a couple of leather pumpkins that I put in the windowsill. Yeah, so it's really cute. I did add on this little stitch marker from Charmed and Dangerous because it has a little crab on it. So it's very themed. There aren't very many projects of this sweater, and I don't know why, because it is freaking adorable. And I think it's going to look so cute on him. This is also really soft yarn, so I hope he likes it. He said it feels like a normal yarn sweater. He's also finally wearing the little forager sweater that I knit for him. He declared it very itchy and wouldn't wear it for a long time. So I'm glad I made like 2 sizes up from the size he was wearing, because he wore it at the beginning of quarantine, and then he refused to wear it for like 2 years, and now he's wearing it again. So it still fits him, and it still has a lot of room, so it's great. And then the last thing I've really been working on, so the other thing that I've been working a lot on is the Fiena sweater, and this is a design by Olga Albrecht, I want to say? Yes, Olga Albrecht, who is Heartful Knits. So it is an all-over brioche sweater with some garter stitch contrast panels, and then I think there's also like garter stitch cuffs that are the contrast colors. So up here it's 2-color brioche on the yoke and kind of the bust area, and then it's 1-color brioche on the body. So a long time ago I finished the 2-color brioche, and on the 2-color brioche I held mohair and sparkle ginger base double. So this is Big Lace and Ginger from Pies and Hellhounds. This is her Fireheart colorway, and this is her Buzzard colorway. So Throne of Glass colors. So you can see the 2-color brioche there, and it's very fuzzy. You can see that nice fuzzy halo. This is like a pale green with browns and darker greens, and then there's some little pops of like citron. So what I'm doing for the 1-color brioche is I'm using 2 skeins. So 1 skein is doing all of the brioche purls, and 1 skein is doing all the brioche knits, and that seems to be giving me a very nice color blending, so I'm not getting any pooling. But it is taking forever because it is all over brioche, so you're working every row twice. But that's fine. It's going to be the best, squishiest, most wonderful sweater when it is done. And it's really nice knitting for when I'm going somewhere that I'm visiting or hanging out for a while, because it's kind of like a vanilla sock in that I know exactly what I'm going to be doing for forever until it's the length that I want. I've also been using it to learn the new tensioning method with my left hand. So I'm basically taking my yarn under, over, and doing that, and then kind of holding my fingers together. Before, I used to wrap double around my middle finger and then up and over my index finger, but it kept these fingers very close together, and it was a very tight tensioning method. So I was actually like pulling my finger to the side, which I think, yeah, even just doing that really hurts. So I'm gonna stop. I think doing that did contribute to some of the pain I have down this finger. So it's basically these 2 tendons that go through this sheath together. So I feel some pain kind of up this finger and through here. I don't feel any right now, but I feel tightness when I knit my old way. So yeah, I figured this would be the perfect way to just practice making that tensioning method feel more natural, because of course every time I pick up the yarn I just subconsciously go and put it on the other fingers, but it's fine. I taught myself to knit continental after being a thrower for 5 years, longer than that, because that was just, I taught myself to knit continental after I had Joshua. Before that I was a thrower, and that was basically from when I learned to knit. So I learned to knit in 2004. So from 2004 to 2014. Yes, from 2004 to 2014. So 10 years I was a thrower, and then I switched to being a continental knitter. So I know I can do it. I just need to be patient and just make it happen. That's fine. not knitting for 2 weeks, I realized that I am a terrible person when I cannot knit. I am not a nice person. When I don't have my stress outlets, I just like hid in my room because I didn't even want to sit in my craft room and see all my yarn and feel sorry for myself. I was like, oh God, I have all this yarn. I've spent all this money. I love creating stuff, and my hobby is going to be taken from me forever, and wah me. Anyway, it's fine. Injection worked, and we're all good to go. So yeah, this pile over here is like some merino jersey fabric that I got. I'm really excited to try it out to sew. Pull some over here. Ooh. Without pulling down the lamp. That was almost bad. I got it from Blackbird Fabrics in Canada. This is the first time I've ever ordered anything from them, but I have been looking for merino jersey for a long time, and this is like organic, fair trade merino. So yeah, it's really nice. So I got some to make t-shirts for my husband because yeah, they tend to like hold up better. They don't like keep odors. So wool is just really nice for t-shirts, and it's nice and thin. So I'm gonna try to make him both a short sleeved and a long sleeved, and then I got this purple for me because it's so pretty. And the first order you do with them, you get you can get a coupon for 15% off. So I was like, I'm gonna just go ahead and get it. So I got 3 colors. I got this purple, this really nice cranberry, and this mustard color. It's really nice. So the cranberry and mustard are going to be for Josh, and then I got enough of the cranberry to also make a shirt for me. Or I could make him a short sleeved and a long sleeved out of this one, because this will be a really nice color for him. And then any leftovers I have, I might make like a little underlayer for Joshua to wear in the wintertime, because it'll be nice like insulated underwear, or also like some PJs. Be really nice for some winter PJs. So none of it will go to waste. It was a little bit pricey, not gonna lie, but worth it, because it was what I wanted, and it's gonna make some really nice, long-lasting things. I also have some fleece there that I'm gonna make pants for Megwin, because she has really changed in sizing. So like she is basically the smallest size in women's patterns now, but her waist is really small, so she can't find anything in stores. And I said to her, like, that's not a problem with you, that's a problem with the store sizing. We're gonna sew you clothes because I can. And don't we all wish that we had gotten that message when we were just going into our teenhood, that like, there's nothing wrong with your body, it's the stupid sizing mechanisms. So yeah, I did find a really great pattern that fits her really well. I've made a tester pair of pants with some like jersey that I had laying around. So I'm gonna make her a couple more pairs that are just like jersey. They're really basic, like flowy pants with an elastic waist. But yeah, then I'll make her some out of the fleece for wintertime. Okay. Oh, I do have one more thing I've been working on. I'm all over the place. Last thing is my Comfort Fade Cardi, and I have been working on this to try and get it done because this yarn has been in my stash for so long. It is Jinx Yarns on her DK base, and I bought this fade before she announced she was going out of business, and then when she did announce she was going out of business, I got an extra skein of a couple of the colors that I didn't have 2 of, just that I knew for sure I'd have enough, because this, I could never match this color or these colors. So anyway, from the top down, this is Never Ender, which is a really deep purple with black. Then it goes into Land of Glaze, which has like these lovely berry shades, again with that dark purple as one of the speckle colors. Then this one is Part of Your World, so it has some blues and oranges from the Land of Glaze colorway, and it starts to introduce that lighter gray color. It still has some of the dark purple. That's kind of in all of the skeins, so that's why I went with that for being my top color. And then the last color is The Cake is a Lie, which is a Portal reference, video game Portal. This one is like the gray, and then it's got purples and golds kind of and pinks. So I just think it fades really, really nicely. And this pattern is the Comfort Fade Cardi by Andrea Mowry. I really love my Ginny cardigan that I made from her. And this is very similar in that it's a shawl collar cardigan, open front, and this one's all in reverse stockinette. So I did knit back and forth, or I did purl on the wrong side. I don't mind purling, I actually like it. It's fine. So yeah, I really love how it turned out. And I have started the first sleeve. However, the sleeve I'm knitting inside out, as the pattern suggests. The one thing I just realized, fudge, I'm gonna have to rip back, is that I carried my yarn up the outside. And I was supposed to do it on this side. So, okay, that's fine. It's only one color. It's not a big deal. So I just have to rip back the amount here between this bunny and where I am right now, because I did this. I carried up my other yarn on the inside, and that is going to be the outside. I knew I would do that. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I will be ripping that back. But it's really just where I joined the second color, and it didn't take me very long, so it'll be fine. I would rather rip back than not. There isn't a choice to not rip back. Luckily, I put stitch markers, so I can just pick right back to that spot, and I'll be okay and ready to go. I did remember to pick up stitches on this side so that I've got the extra stitches on the inside of the arm. So yeah, I was already to the second color and ready to go with the second color. Sleeves go pretty fast. It's DK weight, so it's not going to take super long. I did go back and add in markers at where I introduced new yarns so that I would know for doing the sleeves. I could just lay them against the sweater and compare. The pattern does not call for it, but I'm going to use the same instructions from the Ginny cardigan to knit a belt for this as well, because I do want to have a belt to cinch it, and I probably will make some little belt loops because I really like that feature in the Ginny cardigan. So what happens on the shawl collar is that you pick up all your stitches, and then you're going to start doing the short rows with this colorway, and then you fade it out to this bottom colorway. So basically this one and this one will be next to each other when the shawl collar lays over top. And that's also the reason that I did it this way, because I didn't want this color to be the one that was on the outside of the shawl collar. I also only have one skein of this. I have 2 skeins of all the other colors. So I knew I had to make this one be the smallest part of the sweater. So I didn't want to make it be down here. You need extra of this color on the sleeves. And it's going to take the most on the shawl color. So I thought that would be the most like neutral, and these two look the best next to each other of all of them. So I'll probably make the belt in one of these colors in the middle because it's going to be tied across the middle. So either Land of Glaze or Part of Your World. I really like Land of Glaze. It's a great color. It's like all the glazed vegetables is what it's supposed to be. So glazed carrots and beets and yams, and so it has all of those kinds of colors, if you can imagine, plus the purple from Neverender. So that is my Comfort Fade Cardi. I'm really excited to have that one be on the needles finally, after years and years of saying I was going to make it. And this bag was perfect for housing my 8 skeins of DK weight yarn plus a sweater. It is humongous. I sewed it a couple of years ago out of this fabric that's like lots of R2-D2s in costumes, and it is covered in Aida fur, as is everything in my house. Okay. Now acquisitions. I have a lot. However, I haven't podcasted in 2 months, and it's not everything because I didn't feel like I needed to show you everything I bought. So I went to a trunk show that Gabby had at Knit New Haven, and it was also the I-95 shop hop for Connecticut. I think it's Connecticut and Massachusetts and maybe Vermont. That there's like yarn shops all along the I-95 corridor that participate. But I just hung out for a while at Knit New Haven. It's a really great shop. If you're ever in the Connecticut area, I highly recommend you check it out. The ladies are super nice. And so I just sat and knitted with Gabby. I didn't buy any of her yarn at that trunk show because I knew I was going to buy a bunch at Indie Untangled everywhere because I'm still going to do the online event. And I just have a crap ton of Gabby's colors. I was like, are there even any here that I don't have? There were a few, but it's fine. And I also loaned her one of my sweaters to use in her booth for a sample for her tweed yarn because she didn't have one. So if you see my sweater at Indie Untangled, there you go. It's my Bloom tee, which I'm super proud of. So anyway, while I was there, I did pick up a skein of Lang Cloud. It is a gigantic skein. It's like the size of Joshua's head. And I'm going to use it to make a couple pairs of mittens for him because he needs some new ones for this year. And he tends to lose them. So I thought if I knit like several pair that are all out of the same yarn, then he'll have matchies that he can just grab and go. He won't have to worry. So I'm gonna make probably like 3 pairs of mittens out of this, and then maybe a cowl because it's really, really soft, like super soft. Anyway, it's gigantic. It's ridiculous. It's 100 grams of I don't know, they said it was like a DK weight. I would say that's probably accurate. It's probably a DK weight, but it's one of those like very lofty, squishy yarns. So it's got a lot of air in it, which will be nice. So anyway, that's my Lang Cloud. It's got some purples in there too, so it's kind of like a reddish rainbow. And then I also picked up 2 of their embroidery kits from Kiri Kiri Press, which I've been looking at these for several years. So I finally decided to do it. So I got the hedgehog, and the pig. The pig is going to be a Christmas gift for Joshua, I think, so I need to get started on it pretty soon. But it's also a level 1, so it should be pretty straightforward. And they come with everything in them to make the doll, other than the embroidery hoop and scissors. But it has the screen printed pattern, so you can see it right there. The embroidery floss, a needle, stuffing, and the instructions. So I'm definitely going to start with him because the hedgehog is a level 3, and I haven't done embroidery literally since I was Megan's age. We did some embroidery in home ec, and I did a rabbit pillow that had lots of sample stitches on it. I think that's like the first and last time I touched embroidery, but these are freaking adorable. There's other ones that I would like as well. It was between the hedgehog and the otter for me. I couldn't decide. I'll probably go back and get the otter at some point, but I at least got the hedgehog and the pig. And Joshua's gonna flip about that pig. He's so stinking cute with his little bow tie. Alright. So that was my Knit New Haven purchase. And then the last time I ordered from Gabby, I bought a sweater's quantity of Pumpkin, which is one of her, is it fall term colors? It is so freaking beautiful. So freaking beautiful. That is pretty accurate. It is this gorgeous, just deep, rusty orange, and it just glows. It is amazing. So I got this on the penny base, which is a super, super squishy. Superwash merino cashmere nylon, and then I also got the fig lace, and I am going to make the V-neck raglan by Jessie Maed. Was I knitting one of those before? Yes, I was, but I frogged it. I frogged it because the mohair I was holding double with Sea Captain's Widow was some from Knit Picks, and it had black in it and like a really bright blue, and it was pooling like nobody's business. And I decided that Sea Captain's Widow deserved better than that. So, frogged it, but I still want that sweater because I was loving knitting it, and it looked so good. I tried it on, and it was fine up to the deep V, but then once I joined in the round, I was getting weird, like, flashing bright blue lightning boobs, and I just, lightning bolts coming out of your boobs, not a good look. So I probably will save that mohair, and maybe I will hold it double and knit something for Megwin, because I think she would really like just like a light mohair sweater to throw over stuff. And I think if it was just the mohair alone and held double and it was like Embrace the Crazy, it would be good. But trying to do it with like frankly a gorgeous indie dyed yarn, just no. So anyway, these are destined to become a V-neck raglan by Jessie Maed, and I've got 3 of each, so I should have more than enough to do that. So there you go. The most gorgeous color ever. And she has pre-orders going up for Indie Untangled Everywhere on this Superwash Merino Aran tweed base. And I think I need it. So I might get that. I think that's going to be my Rhinebeck purchase, along with the show colorway from Lavender Loon, because Sam made this really gorgeous one that's like something October's. It's like cream with different speckles on it, and I am a sucker for a cream-based speckle. So, then I also ordered some stuff from the Woolly Thistle. She had the colorway for West Yorkshire Spinners, the Christmas colorway for this year. So this year's is Vintage Tinsel, and it is on their Sparkle. very sparkly. And then I got the contrasting color for the heels, toes, and cuffs. I am going to knit some knee highs out of it. So I got 2 skeins of the Christmas color. And then I'll make like deep ribbing for the top in this. I wasn't sure how much I would need for knee highs, but I didn't think that 1 skein would do it. And then whatever I have left, I can either split with some friends or make some matchy socks for Megwin and Joshua out of it. Megwin's foot is officially the same length as mine though. Her big toe is actually slightly longer than mine. So she basically could wear the knee highs. So I would be making a regular pair plus a knee high pair for myself / Megwin. So I got those. And then I got 2 skeins of Biches and Bouches Le Petit Silk Mohair. One in a black, and then one with that's like a pumpkin-y color. Does it say the colorway on it? It does not. It does. This is soft orange, and this one is black. So my thought was that I'm going to use the rest of the England Times skein with this one held double with alternate underneath colors to make the pumpkin spice mittens from Skein Deer. I've had that pattern for a few years and I really want to make them, but I think it'd be really nice to have held double with mohair. Those would be some freaking warm mittens. So that's one. And then this one I'm going to use also England Times held double, and this one held double with some Nightmares Plus 10 from Gabby to make there's one that's like Halloween Selbu or Spooky Selbu, the Spooky Selbu mittens. That one I've also had the pattern for years and years, and I really want them. So I think that would be nice. And then I'll have a couple of pairs that can take me into deeper winter, because right now my colorwork mittens are nice until it gets to be like super cold, and then they're not enough. So I thought adding in like a strand of mohair would probably make them warmer and stretch out their season a little bit. Yes, that is basically what I have to share with you for now. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think I am. I co-hosted an episode in the interim period of 2 months when I didn't podcast with Sue of the Distant Stitches podcast. Yeah, so you can go and look for that as my guest appearance. And we had a really great time doing it. It was super fun. She's been co-hosting with several different people. So her normal co-host is taking a break from podcasting. So I might co-host with her again. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. But it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So thank you all for joining me. For those attending Rhinebeck, have a fabulous time. And I give you all of my hugs and kisses from a distance, but I really, really hope that I can see you all next year, or maybe at BKL if child vaccinations are available before January, then I'd be able to still go to Vogue Knitting Live, which is also a pretty close to me event. But yeah, otherwise, happy knitting and happy crafting. Take time to do the things that you love. Wear your mask. Be safe. Be awesome in this difficult world that we live in. And I will talk to you all sooner than 2 months from now. All right. Bye-bye.